Yo, what's going on, YouTube? So, if you're unfamiliar with who I am, my name is Cody Alford. I retired from the Marine Corps back in 2018. I was a Marine Raider. Before that, I was a Force Reconnaissance Marine, and I was a Marine Scout Sniper. I have a total of 7 deployments. 6 were combat. 1 was not a combat deployment. And what I've learned through all those years, 15.7 years actually, I was able to retire early due to cognitive impairment. Basically, all the traumatic brain injuries I've encountered throughout my military service all caught up to me, because that's just what happens when you don't take care of yourself. And even when you do take care of yourself, some things are just out of your control. And so I was able to retire early. And when I reflect back and I ask myself, how was I able to do the things that I was able to do? To include, how did I become the youngest Master Sergeant in the Marine Corps history at the time? How did that happen? How was that possible? And when I reflect back on all this, I ask myself, who did I become? And for a lot of you out there, you have these big goals, these dreams, these things you want to accomplish and achieve. And you're probably asking yourself, how do I do it? But I want to challenge you to reframe your question, not how do you do it, but who do you have to become? See, the thing is, it's the root of everything that you do. If you want an amazing body, it's not that you go to the gym. It's not that you eat healthy. It's you become someone different. You prioritize sleep and recovery. You limit the amount of alcohol intake, if any. You limit the amount of negative people you hang around, right? Like you prioritize your focus on the areas of your life that you actually want to enhance. And the only way you're able to do that is by becoming someone completely different. A lot of you are probably at various ages, right? I turned 40 years old I'm going to say 40 years young, in another week and a half. And who I've become over these years is not who I was when I first started out. Heck, who I am today is not even who I was as a Marine Special Operator. But when I look back at all those things, I was always the guy that did the job, that had the opportunity before I ever had the job, before I ever had the opportunity. Yes, I always believed in myself, even when times were challenging and hard, but I had the vision for myself. I had the mindset for myself. I always acted the part. You guys ever hear the whole fake it till you make it? I kind of believe that to a certain degree, right? Fake it till you make it, but really embody it till you are it. And what I mean by that is, I remember when I was a young E3, I was a Lance Corporal in the United States Marine Corps, and I just made it to I just made it to the sniper platoon, and I had to do the sniper the indoctrination, right? And that was a pretty hard, grueling event. Consisted of a bunch of random things like, physical fitness tests, swim qualifications, a lot of land navigation, and just a lot of carrying a lot of heavy weight and moving around a lot, right? But the whole time I was there, I was already a scout sniper. I was already in that platoon. I was already like the man, when I was literally a nobody, when I was literally nothing at all. But I was already that person inside my head. Heck, I very, very vividly remember when I was in recon school. We call it BRC, Basic Reconnaissance Course. When I was in BRC back in 2006, I remember one night very specifically, it was during patrol week. We were patrolling through this. It was so sick. We're patrolling through this this creek, this really deep creek, or low river, however you want to calculate it. And it's nighttime. We're all walking through the water. The moon is out. It's a full moon, so there's a lot of illumination, so you can see really well at nighttime. We're not on night vision. We're just walking. And it was such a cool feeling. And when I was there, yeah, it sucked. I had a heavy pack on. Yeah, I was wet. I was cold. I was definitely hungry. I was semi-miserable, right? Because it was, week 1 into this multi-week patrol phase operation. But I remember when that was happening, I was like, I visualized myself like I've been here before. I've asked for this. This is where I'm supposed to be at. I had these visions for myself before I ever had the experiences or opportunities. And so I want to challenge you all, whatever that goal is that you're trying to obtain in your life, whatever that thing you want to achieve, like, how do you act? How are you talking? How are you carrying yourself? And I noticed this in the military. A lot of guys, you know, they just didn't believe. They didn't believe in themselves. To try out for something was, well, I'm going to see if I can make it. There is no see if I can make it. And there was none of that in my head, ever. If I'm going to try out, I'm going to make it. You know, they're going to see if I'm who they want, but I'm not there to see if I can make it. I'm there to become it. And a lot of people are putting themselves as the catalyst of if they're going to succeed or not. But really, it's like you control what you can control, and things outside your control are things outside your control. Why wouldn't you want to be successful? Why wouldn't you want to accomplish things? Why wouldn't you want to be a better person? Why wouldn't you want to be fit? Why wouldn't you want to make money? Why wouldn't you want to be a good person? Why wouldn't you want to give back to people? Right? Like, when I look at all my life with almost 40 years of experience, I always did things before I ever was things. And analyzing my life now with all these opportunities that I'm being afforded and that I've created is because I was already doing it well before I was it, and it definitely well before I believed in it, right? Like, I didn't really believe in the experience because I was just going through all the motions of just like, I really don't know what to do. I just know I'm too stupid to quit. I know that this is the general direction I think I want to go with my life, but I'm not quite sure exactly what it is. But I believed in myself enough to remind myself, like, bro, if you don't stop, if you keep on going, you have no idea how far you can go. A lot of us, we want to stay in the variables of controllability where, oh, I know if I work this job, I do this for however many years, I'll get this opportunity to get promotion, I'll blah, 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 blah. That's so, is that what you really want for your life? All these controllables? Do you really want your life to be like a book that's just so like cut and copy, you know, black and white? If that is what you want for your life, good for you, good on you. But if that's not what you want for your life, take trying to control everything out the window and just start believing that you are the one, that you are the person that's capable of doing so. You know, I'm getting into competition shooting later this year. I'm training with my buddy JR. He shoots with Terran Tactical. And I'm asking him all these questions like, oh man, like, what do I do? But then I had to like stop and shut up. I'm like, who cares? Who cares? Because I don't know if you guys know this about shooting, especially in like a competition or some type of like stressful environment where it's not combat, it's for fun, for play, for score. It's just you against you. You know, if I was to go to this competition, I'm worried about what the grandmasters are shooting. Like, man, I'm not like them. Of course I'm not like them. That's either their main profession, or they've invested thousands of manpower hours into becoming that person who can do those things. So, but when I go out there to shoot, no matter who I'm shooting with, no matter the level of proficiency that other people have, I'm not comparing myself to them. I'm just focused on me. I'm focused on accomplishing the task. Can I push it faster than I just did? Can I go to the next level? Can I get uncomfortable and like maintain my composure at the same time? That's what I do. But when you aren't becoming that person that can just let go of all this stuff you can't control and just focus on what you can, when you become that person where you stop doubting yourself and you just start believing in you, and yeah, you might fail, you might suck. And guys, if you think that I've done everything and I was just successful the first time, you're out of your mind. Especially as an entrepreneur. I failed so many times as an entrepreneur, and I've been betting on myself ever since I retired back in 2018. But I believe in myself. I've been spending the past 8 years becoming the person who is ultra wealthy, ultra successful, ultra, most importantly, happy with my life. And when I tell you happy, guys, I mean that wholeheartedly. The past 90 days of my life, I've never been happier. I'm about to turn 40 and I've been the happiest I've ever been in my entire life in the past 90 days. I've been working my butt off for the past 8 years to find that level of growth and development in my own self, to become that person that I want to become. All the other things are just a byproduct of who you are and who you say you are, and most importantly, who you believe you are. Because I've definitely said I was things before that I wasn't yet. Hey, I'm happy. Things are good. Everything's fine. They weren't fine. They were horrible. And I wasn't lying, but I was lying to myself, because things were good. Things were fine. But inside my head, they weren't where I wanted to be, because I still wasn't that person yet. I knew that I was holding myself back in a lot of ways. Dude, guys, for instance, this morning, it's 55 now, but it was probably 40, 45 this morning. Not too cold at all. And it was raining the past couple days. And I woke up, I'm getting in the cold plunge this morning when I wake up. Guys, I beat around the bush for so long, almost talking myself out of it. Then I reminded myself, dude, if you talk yourself out of this, what else today are you going to talk yourself out of? So I walk to the cold plunge and I get in there and I'm like, yep, you are cold. And I'm sitting in there, I'm just like, bro, what are you doing to yourself? You're going to rely on yesterday's successes, yesterday's victories, yesterday's wins, and try to drive that into today? You're absolutely insane. Today is day one. Who are you today? You could have been the greatest thing since sliced bread yesterday, but who are you today? And so when I share with you this mindset about how to reprogram how you view yourself, it is not a one-time thing. It's not I made it. I tried that a little bit when I got out of the Marine Corps. Man, I did all these things. I was super successful, super impactful. More importantly, I took care of people. I was a good dude, blah, blah, blah. I told myself all these things, but I suffered for years after I got out of the military because I was relying on who I was, not who I am. So my challenge to you today is, who do you have to become to have the life that you actually want? Who do you have to become? Because when you really get it down to the gritty, sometimes you realize the life that you want isn't really what you were actually seeking. The life you want is a byproduct of who you become along the journey. So I want to encourage you to keep on going on your journey, no matter where you're at in life, no matter what your bank account says, no matter what food you eat, no matter what type of physical fitness you have for yourself, body composition, relationship, it's all good. And if you want it to be better, if you want it to be great, what do you have to do to be better? What do you have to do to be great?